Boom! Guess who stepped in the room? We in here, the OGs, baby, and Ralph. See, it's the OGs and Ralph. Ralph decided to come and hang out with us, man. It is going down today. We are here, uh, fresh off the jet, sharpening Gillette, the best you can get. I'm loose as a goose, fly than Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I'm flyer than Vinny going to hair club for men and getting some hair put in his head so he can have hair blow through that scalp. I'm flyer than Trey showing his legs. He flashed everybody last Thursday. He gave everybody a nice peep
I
see.
was I was I was airing that shit out, boy. It
You
was a
had
long ass day.
what's going on, everybody? How we doing?
Pretty good, man. I got
Doing good,
nothing
man.
to I had nothing to bitch about.
Man, listen. So I know that there's a lot of things that we want to cover today. I'm excited to get started and cover them. Vinny, let's start off with the haul that you just grabbed at a garage sale. Let's get
Oh,
into it. I ain't no use in playing around. Shit, let's get it.
It's
yeah, no.
crazy.
So, I mean, here's the thing, right? People say that there are no fines anymore, and it's true. It's dried up a lot, and a lot of times I see people post on various groups, and then people are like, "Show receipts. That I don't believe you didn't find it," like that type of stuff. But here's the reality of it. If you go to like damn near every estate sale you see or garage sale that you see, you're probably going to come up on something at some point in time. And that's just it. For me, I go to a lot of them, and I've had a super dry spell for a very long time, and I found a lot of shit this morning. So I went to a spot. Um, I guess some of the keys that were there ended up getting like a whole lot of books, X-Men Run, uh, first Squirrel Girl, first Gambit, first Jubilee, first White Queen, Omega Red, Bishop, just a
Madeline
bunch of
Pryor.
other books. Yeah, so it was cool. It was cool to finally have a find. I put it in the group chat this morning. Marcus was like, "I don't believe you. I'm gonna FaceTime you. You're just looking at some books in your garage." So I FaceTime. I showed him all around in like this remote area I was at in outside of Atlanta, and he was like, "Okay." And then I showed him the books in the back seat of my car, and he was like, "Damn, okay." He was like, "It's real, fellas." So, but yeah, it was fun, man. It was fun to finally like hit something good on comic books because they really are pretty much picked through. In my experience from garage sales these days, they say it's me and Trey was talking about this kind of at the beginning, but before we got on the podcast, but a lot of times people would advertise a sale for at like 9 a.m. and people would have already been there at like 7 a.m. and cleared these people out. It's actually crazy. So it's like most of the times you don't even have a chance. So, anyways, that was the haul. It was good times.
Yeah,
Vinny's a
I'm just I hear these stories and I'm just happy that somebody I know hit big like that. I'm never gonna hit big like that out here in Southern California. So I'm happy for you, man.
Oh man, appreciate it. Appreciate it.
fuck that. Vinny's on got jet lag from 15 different countries, and he's getting up in the morning chasing comic books and shit.
Hit this,
I
hit
did
this
drop
run.
off the kids, and then I went straight to it. I just went straight to it, and I started getting mad at the guy because he wasn't there when I first got there, and I was texting him. I was like, "Who says a garage sale starts at 9 and nobody's here?" I was like there at like 9:30, so he finally hit me back like an hour and a half later. So it's crazy, but
Dude,
yeah,
I
go
had an
ahead.
interesting weekend in NYC. I went to a Yankees game, my very first Yankees game on a Friday night. Got to see Aaron Judge hit 3 home runs, and holy shit, does the ball the sound that the ball and the bat make coming off his bat is as good as Jose Cruz Jr. was. I think I told that story before that just his home run, him and Griffey's bat just sounded different. I mean, Aaron Judge's bat just sounds different. But the first time I get to see a 3-home run Major League game. Then we went to the One Bite Pizza Festival in Brooklyn. And that was unreal, to be honest with you. Got to meet up with the old homie from the Drunken Chat himself, Mel V. Can't believe how skinny he'd gotten. And he's got tattoos and shit now and all kinds of shit. I think he even paid for a round. So I don't know what the fuck was going on. But it was good to catch up with him. I got to hear about a lot of stories I hadn't heard before. Got some gaps filled in on some dramas and things like that. So as usual, it was pretty interesting, but it was really, really nice to see him doing as well as he's doing. And I got way too drunk. I hadn't been that drunk in a very, very long time. Hadn't had a hangover in a very long time, and didn't need to have a hangover when I had one, but it was worth it. You can get lost down in Brooklyn real quick. Like I said, I was, walking there was one thing. Walking back without him was another. In fucking Google Maps, when you're in those big ass tall buildings telling you go wrong turn, you can't be doing wrong turns. And in Brooklyn, so when we were at, so it was fun though. And then we took the train to from NYC to Boston, and then we went to a Red Sox White Sox game. And it got rained out in inning 7. The game was called, and White Sox announced the victory. But pretty interesting to see Fenway. Never been in the stadium before, and we went up on the monster, did that whole deal, and it was pretty interesting. It's a very, very small ballpark. I mean, it has almost like a AAA feel to it. If you didn't know any better, you'd think it was an old like AAA ballpark, but it was. It had a better atmosphere than Yankee Stadium, but I liked Yankee Stadium better. If that makes any sense. The food and stuff in Yankee Stadium was just unreal. I mean, and it wasn't that expensive. Like you were expecting to be pretty crazy, and you get a chicken finger basket with fries and a drink for like $14.
How much is a beer there?
Oh shit! The beer there they had some giant can of like Bronx Bomber IPA or something. I think it was like $18.
Yeah, 18 standard. That's what it is at Dodger Stadium.
Is that what it was?
18 for a beer. If it's a mixed drink, I think it's like 25.
I was pissed off about it too.
Not much alcohol.
I was pissed off about it too because I hadn't drank a beer in like 3 or 4 years, and a buddy who went with me owed me $20. And he comes back from the dude. He's like, "Hey man, I got you a beer. We're square." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, I don't need this. I want my I want that 20 back, bitch. I don't know how this is gonna work." So, but then the long flights home Sunday sucked. The flight from Boston to St. Louis was the fucking most miserable flight I've ever been on. I wanted to sleep. The whole plane wanted to sleep except these 2 besties next to me that had fucking reading romance novels and shit with headlamps on, LED headlamps to make it extra bright. I mean, it was just typical. Is Marcus asleep? No.
He's working. I think he's doing something on the side.
I couldn't tell what he was. I thought he was asleep while I was like, well, shit, I gotta finish the story up if it's that bad. So, but no, it was an interesting week to say the least.
No, I'm typing. I'm trying to multitask. Vinny says I don't do a good job of multitasking, so I'm typing and being a part of the podcast and all of that because this UK trip is coming up, so everybody don't know what they're doing days leading up to the actual event. Craziness. Sorry.
Damn. When you headed up?
This your people. This is for Tink.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Indian people in the UK. I was like, what the hell, Marcus? I was like, why are you going there? Why you gotta do that?
Maybe I should go there. I don't know. Maybe I should. No, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, no, it's your people. Just trying to get ready for Tink. They're actually leaving tomorrow, for that.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Cool.
I wish everyone was privy to our group text messages to see exactly what it was. this morning when Vinny posted that he hit this lottery garage sale. Marcus said the first thing he said is bullshit and made Vinny FaceTime with him to show him where he was at. And like, no, I want to see where you're headed. I want to see what neighborhood you're in, the whole 9 yards and shit. And then he reported back about 10
The
minutes, like, no,
screenshots.
everything's. He's like, no, everything's legit. He found it, and he's like, motherfucker. And I'm just laughing. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Man, if I was faking, that would have been so embarrassing.
Oh no, yeah. I hold, man. Let me tell you something about me and Vinny's relationship. It is very, and I guess it's because, and again, man, shout out Trey connected us, and it's like we've been stuck at the hip since. We hold each other feet to the fire. I can say that I got something, and Vinny be like, lying ass. And I'd be like, bro, no, I actually got it. No, for real, I got it. Let me see. FaceTime me. Pictures or it didn't happen. All right, Vinny. Most time he's caught me in a lotto. I'll be like, yeah, I got it. And he say, well, let me see. Well, man, the way my camera phone set up, I ain't got it. The modern technology.
Yo, remember that? So I was at a Money Man concert, walking in, and this guy calls me, and he this is when he was talking about the magical mixies, and I was like, get the fuck off my phone. You a grown ass man calling me about some magical mixies right now.
You say what you want to say. The magical mixies going up in price, brother. Thank you very much.
That was,
dude. I've been so lucky that happened in the Android that I've never had to have to like dudes FaceTime me. What's great is my fiance, she got an Android and she abuses it a little bit. Like I said, I mean, the amount of stuff, she's like, oh, look, here the dog's taking a poop. You want to see? And like, no, not really. I'm watching the game. Hey, here's a flower, or this and that. It's just like, that's great, babe. Take a photo and text me. And we don't need to FaceTime for everything. And then, like I said, I'll go out with my buddies and stuff like that. And I mean, that's all they do. It's like they don't use the regular phone anymore. It's like everything's FaceTime. It's like, man, I don't want to fucking FaceTime when I'm in Walmart looking for fucking action figures and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Just call me.
It's like, you call me, motherfucker. What? This isn't an interview, or
No,
but
I don't
know.
The way that I get down with Vinny Trey, it's a lot on how I get down with you, bro. Hey, let me see it or it ain't real.
No,
let
I
me
get
see
it.
or it ain't real. I'll call Ralph in the middle of the day. Ralph knows this. Ralph, what is this? Let me see it or it ain't real, Ralph. You ain't got it if you can't let me see it. Like, let me see it.
It literally is like 7:15. I'm logging into work on my laptop, and I have Marcus calling. I'm like, what? There's something's going on in crypto, so I got to answer this phone call.
And that's it. And we find out what it is. And the thing about Ralph, let me tell y'all about Ralph. This is good. I'm glad that we're having this conversation today. Man, Ralph will be down the street and around the corner with shit and then come back and tell y'all, oh, by the way, don't forget to go get this. Bro, it was some Pokemon. Now, Ralph knows my son collects Pokemon. I collect the older Pokemon cards because, I mean, I've been bit by the bug at this point. So, so all the older shit I'm in. Ralph called. He just some random. Yeah, man. I put in the Discord, man. They got these boards.
Oh, the skateboard.
Yeah, the skateboards, man. And then looked up the damn Charizard skateboard sold for how much?
Like 14,000.
$15,000. It only costed $100 to get these boards.
Yeah.
I said, Ralph, how many did you get? Oh man, I only bought 2. What? You only bought 2?
Like, personally, I didn't think they were gonna do what they did. I thought it was a skate deck.
He's lying right now. He's lying ass. He sat there and said, I knew these bad boys were gonna take off, and then posted the E-Trade, did he not? And then posted the eBay of like the blind ones. If they're still in the bag and board, if they're still in the bag, they sell for $1,000 unopened, and he only spent $100 on that shit.
Yeah, I knew they would flip maybe a 2x. I didn't think they would do what they're currently. I haven't checked prices, but I didn't think they would go that crazy. When I posted it in the Discord, I figured there's a ton of people in here that enjoy Pokemon and a ton of people that buy decks. Every time I normally post a link for a deck, a Marvel deck, something like that, somebody usually buys it. So I figured I'd post that in the Discord. And And then I come back a few days later and I see people posting eBay sales and stuff like that. I'm like, whoa, these really popped off. But I did not think they would do what they did.
All I'm
Now,
saying
Ralph hit us a little uppercut today with his the amount of copies of the 1 in 50 Storm Brotherhood of Mutants he's got. He's been
Yeah, I
stockpiling.
I jumped on that. I'll get you guys a copy once they come in.
I'll never see it. It'll be like some other people that get copies and don't send shit.
No,
ain't gonna say no
I'm
names.
definitely.
I'll
There
never
was
see it.
15 listed. There were 15 listed. I left 5. I took 10. Like 50% off ratio cover price. I was gonna pick those up.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I just know I'll never see it. Some other people who get shit and then it gets mailed to them and never comes. They ain't gonna say no
Oh, you're
names.
talking about Vinny. You're talking about Vinny.
Of course, I'm talking about Vinny.
What I owe you? I don't owe you anything.
Man,
Hey,
black boy fly.
You told me to keep them. You told me not, don't bring them to you because you couldn't bring them on the plane.
I said the comic book. Damn the shoes.
Oh, I never given you that, bro. That's never happening.
That's just so disrespectful. So, Vinny, listen.
The Black Boy Fly, the NYCC variant.
Yeah.
That's a $10,000 book if it's in high grade.
And he has like 5 of them.
Two. I got 2 of them.
I got 1.
And bought it for $25.
$10.
$10. Because people didn't know who Hebrew Brantley was. So the Hebrew was just sitting there signing them.
You know what's so funny? I was still on Unpressable at the time when all that was going on, and I bought mine, and I had no idea who either was. I just anytime at that point in time, anything that was rare, a variant that came out at NYCC or any of those conventions, and then you looked at the cover and it looked interesting. And Mel actually told me a little bit about the artist. I had no idea. He was in New York City, et cetera. So it was just one of those ones where I had a little flush cash and I saw a good copy on eBay. I was like, fuck, why not buy it? And then I remember when I retired for a little bit, and then somebody mentioned, I think it was Doc Joe mentioned to me, he's like, have you checked the price on that recently? Looked at it and it was fucking blew my mind.
Yeah, I would say Hebrew Brantley now is, if you talk about like top tier fine artists, contemporary fine artists, and you put like Cause and Murakami and Banksy and people like that all the way at the top, I would say Hebrew Brantley's like kind of right in that next level with like Daniel Arsham and some of those other guys. So his career is really propelled since that time.
I'm impressed with your knowledge of that shit.
The fine art shit?
Oh yeah.
I mean, Vinny's rich.
Vinny for sure.
Vinny is fucking rich. That's what rich people do. They go look at fine art. They listen. It has come to my attention. We collect Trey, me, you, Ralph, Ferd, even 78 got money too. 78 is rich too. He runs his own.
Yeah, you gotta be rich. You gotta be rich. You gotta be rich to make the toys. To have the time to make the toys,
dioramas and all that. Yeah, you gotta be rich. Vinny
and still be buying ASICs and shit. Like I said, you gotta be rich to buy stuff.
Well, that's why you're rich, because you buy ASICs. You buy Saucony.
ASICs are expensive. They're expensive now.
No,
that's what I'm saying. Like he's getting them. He's getting those ugly ass ASICs aren't cheap. He's got to have money.
It's like how Izod became Lacoste. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thanks. but like Vinny doesn't collect. He procures. He procures. He doesn't collect. So that's what fine art is. You procure those. So that's what that is. So Vinny is out here with the Hebrew Brantleys, and he got the Black Boy fine. Hebrew Brantley art is riddled all through Jay-Z and Beyonce's house. Like it's like a $4 million piece that Hebrew Brantley did for Jay-Z, and it's like in the main hallway of his house. It's like Hebrew Brantley is like this generation's Basquiat. I know that's kind of bold, but that's kind of like where he's going. Like he's going down that line, just being that kind of shit. It's actually kind of cool to see that he just did a random comic and it broke out like that, and nobody slept, and everybody was sleep on it for $10.
I think because people also were looking at looking at it as a comic and not considering like that it's
Fine art.
art in a medium of a comic book. You know what I mean? Like it's different.
So did that book didn't have any issues as far as print run and copies being held back?
Bro,
Yeah.
he had them all at NYCC, and he was sitting there selling them. He was at the booth selling them for $10.
Okay.
And those
Nobody
guys
knew who he was.
all that shit, like keeping print runs and lying about print runs. They're just like, at the time, I'm sure he was just like, I'm just trying to make these books and sell them at this convention. I don't,
Yeah.
you know, like I don't think he was thinking about any of that stuff.
See, and you know what's funny to me is I've almost thought about it more as it's exactly. Granted, I know nothing of the street art stuff, especially in that culture, other than what you guys have talked about and what I've read. But he's almost like an American Banksy to an extent.
Mm.
And I think that these limited edition pieces, especially this comic book, because it's super limited, it's an NYCC deal. You know what I mean? I think the more he continues to progress, it's almost going to be like those Banksy Paris Hilton CDs and things like that, where it's going to have, obviously first appearances of his iconic characters, but it's going to be one of those pieces of art that you could trace directly from him to him. And it might be the only way you're going to be able to get your hands on anything that he's ever done authentically. Yeah. So that's where I was, more thinking down the road, and that's the thing is there may be a cartoon deal or an animated deal. There could be something coming with his characters. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass when it comes to that. But that was what, like I more thought about it was as a limited art piece that you could trace back to him. So,
bro, I'm so sick about that. When you mentioned it on Unpressable, defects back in the day, I went and looked at it, and when y'all mentioned it, no bullshit, it was still $100 in less than 24 hours. That book jumped up to $800. I never forget that. I never forget that shit. I was like, damn. I said a $10 book. They mentioned it on one day, and I said, I get it in the morning. Woke up that morning, that shit was $800.
That's crazy.
Man, I have almost talked myself into going to NYCC. I've literally I just don't want to I got, knock on wood, I did that whole trip, and I can't tell you how many people that were in my face, et cetera, between all the games, the pizza festival, and I didn't get COVID or I didn't get sick. Knock on wood. There is no way I can run that fucking gambit twice without getting that shit. I just don't think I'm that lucky.
Here's what I'm finna let you know, Trey. And I love you, bro. This is real. Ralph, I love you too. Vinny, fuck you. Vinny goes to New York every time and comes back with COVID. Oh. Where's he hanging at? And come on now, let's talk about it. Where's he hanging at? You was at the baseball game. You went and got pizza. You went and kicked it with friends and everything else. And you came back clean as a whistle. You didn't get COVID. You didn't get sick. Vinny goes to New York, comes back. Hey, guys, I got to get out of here. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what I did.
I think, what's funny? This is the longest since we've known him. He hasn't been sick with something.
I know. And dude, I just went to France, Miami, Singapore, Japan, and I'm back here. And I was like, damn, I'm still good. This is good.
You went to all clean places: France, Japan, Singapore.
I mean, that's
France
a lot.
France is kind of wonky, but
France kind of dicey. I don't know. But.
Yeah, but damn it, Singapore and Japan and all that shit. You go to jail for peeing on the sidewalk. So yeah,
right.
What was the best thing you ate on your adventure?
That ramen. It was
your 4-star Michelin ramen. It was
Michelin rated ramen, and the whole thing cost $24.
And you waited 4 hours.
Ramen, a beer, and 2 sides. Yep. I waited 2 hours. Yeah.
All that.
You waited 2 hours for ramen noodles?
Yeah, I mean, it was a Michelin rated restaurant. It was like.
I waited 4.5 at Franklin's.
You did?
In Austin about 15 years ago. Oh, I take that back. It was about 12 years ago.
Yeah,
And
I ran
it was
into.
where it's an experience. You know what I mean? Standing in the line, having to wait a little bit, wondering if you're going to get in, all that stuff. That's what makes it, it's fun. And then when you finally get it, it's even more rewarding when you realize that there's people that, might not get it because they didn't get in line in time. So,
Dude, the line for this place was going all the way down, and I was number 18. The place opened at 11, and I got in at 11:50. So they let in the first batch of people. I was in the second batch. There was like another 70 people behind me. There was no way those people. They close at 3. There's no way people would get in.
So this is crazy. So when we were in Brooklyn, when we first landed, we were like, we're going to try to get some pizza. So I don't have TikTok, but my buddy who I went with, Brandon, he had TikTok. He's like, have you heard about this Chrissy's Pizza? And I thought about it. And it was, Ralph might remember, Action Bronson did a thing about it during COVID.
Oh, did he?
He was a dude that was making the pizza in his kitchen during COVID.
I think I remember that.
And it started getting really popular. And then he literally was selling out. Like he started doing like 15 pizzas a day, and he would sell out on TikTok immediately. Well, he finally got a little store space. And what was funny was we heard about all this, et cetera, and like 2 days after we got done, Dave Portnoy did the whole one bite deal on it. But I love shit like that. You know what I mean? Where the word of mouth and everything else, and then you have to. It's really hard to get it. Where you got to, continually try to get in line. You know how it is, kind of like botting. It's a gamble. And when you hit something, and when you finally get through, it's just you're excited that you won. And then if the pizza's good, just a fucking cherry on top.
I try to hit those born and raised dunks that dropped earlier today. I used Mech, and I forgot I was on a VPN. I was on a Japan IP, so when I ran the bot, I just got a bunch of errors.
What the fuck you been watching, Ralph?
No, well, I'm on the VPN because I'm probably just a crypto. There's a crypto gambling website that I use.
Hold on, back up.
Yeah,
you're into a Japanese crypto gambling site.
Which one?
No,
Sherbet?
so
Not Sherbet.
No,
What's the other one? The Stake.
No, Robit.
Oh, Robit.
Yeah, Robit. So it's not. I have to use. I don't even think it's available in Europe. So I have to jump on a Japan VPN or IP to access it.
Damn.
What's crazy
right,
to
guys.
me is that you can't gamble. You can't do any. Just real quick. You can't do any of this with crypto, but you can bet on DraftKings. You can put down a $10,000 bet on the Lions and Packers, and it's not a big deal. But you can't do that with crypto.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Speaking of, let's kind of hop into this. I wanted Vinny. I wanted actually the three guys that know the most about cryptos and NFTs that I know are sitting right here next to you guys tonight, and I wanted to get everyone's thoughts, good and or bad, about the alleged death of the NFT and crypto market in the last few weeks. There have been numerous stories. Now, here's the thing. I've read a couple stories, but a lot of them have been memes and Instagram photos, et cetera, and I haven't done a lot of my due diligence to see, it's like such and such, Logan Paul bought this for $700,000. It's now worth $170. I've seen a bunch of those, in the last couple weeks. And I wanted to get y'all's thoughts. Now, obviously, the market is in a decline in a state. I mean, Vinny talked about. I don't know if you want to mention what you bought, on this deal, but I mean,
yeah,
I consider you probably the best speculator that I know. I mean, honestly, probably Ralph and Vinny were the two best at it that I know. And if you're bullish and buying right now,
not Mark.
I'm interested. No, Mark is too busy.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
But like I said, the fact that you're buying right now is interesting to me because you usually don't swing and miss too often.
So
I've known you.
So this is what I was going to say. So if you guys remember, I did a list of NFTs to buy. I think this was December of 2022. And so I still look at that list, and I still stand behind pretty much all of those projects. Look at Marcus. And you guys tell me what you guys think. But here's my first thing about this. The article said that 95% of all NFTs are now worthless, right? If you guys think about collectibles in general, you think about cards, you think about comics, you think about anything people collect. Aren't 95% of the things really like not worth anything? Like you think about baseball cards, they're all pretty much worthless except for those standout players. You think about all the comic books that come out in 1 year, there's only but a handful of keys by the end of the year, really, right? So everything is kind of in that state. So I think it's wrong to look at it that way. I think the other thing is that a lot of people bought in on these NFTs super low. So these high prices that they hit in 2021, they came down, but these guys are still up by substantial amounts of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just like I was just going to go through a couple things really quickly, and then I'll let Marcus and Ralph kind of chime in. But these are the projects I mentioned before, right? And just some examples: Atom Bomb Squad, Goblin Town, Murakami Flowers, World of Women, Cool Cats. And these were all like kind of budget buys, right? And I also had some sort of reaches. Alien Friends, Go to Mint Pass, which I still think is cool. They just announced Go to Mint Pass is focused on transitioning mainstream fine artists into the NFT Web3 space. They did a project with Todd James, Nina Chanel. Now they've announced Crink, who's like an OG graffiti legend. Cause is an advisor. Pharrell is on the board. You buy one of those NFTs, you get access to every major Art Basel event. Like that's $500 in and of itself, and this thing is like $1,000. Doodles was on the list. Clone X was on the list. And if you really wanted to reach Mutant Ape Yacht Club or Bored Ape Yacht Club. And if you look at the prices, like, for example, it's Goblin Town was a free mint, so people got it for free. When I advised to buy it, it was $600. It went up to about $900, and now it's down to about $300, right? So it's not gone. Murakami Flowers, when I advised to buy it, $971, went up to $1,400, now it's down to $600. World of Women, $2,100, now down to about $1,500. Doodles, it was at 8 as a floor, now down to 2. I think that's a buying opportunity. Clone X was at 7,600, now down to 2. I think it's a buying opportunity. Even the Trump NFTs we talked about, you could have bought them for $99. They went up to about $700-800. Some people sold them. You can still sell it for $300. So even if you bought one at that time, you'd be up by $200, right? So I personally, and I've told Marcus might get mad at me, but I personally bought in all this right now, Clone X, I bought a Doodle, I bought a Mutant Ape Yacht Club, I bought a Cool Cat, I bought an Invisible Friend, and I also, the only new one that I would add right now is Nakamigos, because the volume on that project has been insane. It's like a $200 to $300 buy-in. I really think that's actually a pretty decent buy. So,
whatever, Vinny. I had to get off the camera. Your ass.
No, Vinny's got the yacht. He's the Bored Ape Yacht Club member now, dude. He's in the Illuminati. He's in Yuga
Labs. Yeah, he's in Yuga Labs.
Mutant Ape is like the budget Bored Ape buy-in. So I did get one of those. The other thing I want to mention is, even if NFTs are dead now, right? Even if that really happened, these particular projects and certain other ones are now mainstays of pop culture. So even if NFTs completely died, just from a historical standpoint, these are a segment in time that will still be relevant. That's my take on it. That's everything I got to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely agree. To me, that article was it marked the bottom. Like that was the bottom. because a few days after that, there was some volume with NFTs that wasn't there weeks before. Um, but yeah, I definitely don't think they're dead. But I think that article was kind of people that dislike NFTs use that as the proof. But I don't think research was done when they put that together, because you just provided a ton of data that kind of contradicts that article. So um, but everything that you mentioned as far as projects, when the bull run does come, because eventually it will come, 2025 is what everybody is saying. I think all those projects are going to shoot up in floor price. Um, so, uh, like you said, NFTs are not dead. Um, maybe they won't be called NFTs anymore. Maybe they'll be called digital collectibles. I don't know what the name will be, but they're definitely not dead, and they're going to stick around.
So you're telling me my crap chicken still has a chance?
Still has a chance.
Just hold on to it. Just hold on
And
to
the
it.
show is
Fine.
going crazy right now. So it
And
just
actually, I saw
premiered.
that actually came out, so it's actually funny. I thought it was a dead project, and then I saw that it's been on Hulu or something else. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. So here's
You know,
my take. Go
just real
ahead. Go
quick,
ahead.
Marcus. Let
Mhm.
me talk about because Vinny, you mentioned that free mint. Did you guys mint the Sugartown NFTs? The free mint. It was a free mint by Zynga.
Yeah.
So free mint is shot up all the way up to 0.36. So like this is still going on in the quote unquote bear market. It's just people need to look for the opportunities, and once you find these opportunities, have conviction, because even though people say that NFTs are dead, there's still money to be made. But I just don't think that people put in the effort and search for these projects. But it's definitely not a bear market. There's money to be made.
So
Well,
here's my 2 cents, and it's just my 2 cents. Warren Buffett says, be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. Everybody don't understand, NFTs right now. Everybody don't understand the future of what it is. But, the reality of the situation is, let's talk about these. When these first came out, you couldn't tell nobody. I mean, everybody was like, what the fuck is this? It's a fucking, what the fuck is a Funko Pop? Really? I mean,
I still want to know what the fuck a Funko Pop is.
man, it don't even matter. You got the right one. It's worth almost $500,000. It's just, I mean, it is what it is. There's a
500
market for
racks.
it. Yeah, I mean, and it's lower, higher from there. Just go get on eBay.
To
Get on
be
eBay.
fair though, that Funko market is dying the fastest death of any collectible I have ever seen.
But in that same breath, Funko just partnered with Vivi. So now those Funkos will head over to the NFT market. See, that's what I'm saying. What people got to understand is that, man, I really live by this thought, man. Thanos said it. I tell Vinny all the time, you know, run from it, dread it, destiny arrives all the same. So it's like, we can sit here and talk about, I can give you every reason on why NFTs are not going anywhere. I can give you every reason on why you need to have some sort of blue chip NFT. With Xbox, I mean, there's a whole leak right now. Me and Vinny just got it on our wire today. Xbox is about to start doing crypto payments, and PlayStation is coming up right behind it.
Yeah, and play to earn gaming.
And play to earn gaming, where you earn crypto doing that. What you think they're gonna do with that crypto?
God,
They're gonna
these poor kids don't have a fucking chance, man. They're literally going to start paying kids to play video games at like
But
8, 9 years old. To earn
but you're saying,
crypto.
but watch this.
God.
But watch this. I mean, we talk about that, but that's where esports came from. It came. This is how it was birthed.
Bro,
And
I will say, I was touring the schools to send my son to, and it's so funny, hearing the little talks about the athletic programs, and like now hearing about esports. I'm like, what? Mario Kart? Are you kidding me? What are you talking about?
esports.
Like, this is unfathomable for people, I think, of our generation who are like, actually had to play a sport. I'm not saying that those shouldn't count, but I mean, I'm kind of am. It's like, it's nuts.
But not
I mean,
only, but like I was just watching The Shy. I was just watching The Shy. And the latest episode is one of the kids. He's making so much money off esports. He's moving. He's leaving The Shy to go to LA, and he has enough money to get out of the ghetto and go pay for himself to be in esports through esports. Even when I was
Yeah,
watching, what's the movie with the TV show with The Rock?
Ballers.
Ballers. I was watching Ballers.
Yeah.
One of the football players was taking his money to go start an esports league, and he was like, "Yo, it's money in esports." And then when they came back and talked about it, he was talking about how teams are making all kind of money. Now, wrap your head around making money playing Call of Duty, or because that's what these tournaments are, and then now wrap your head around an NFT. Not just a regular NFT, but an NFT that's going to come with some sort of utility. The ones that have utility are the ones that are staying, like Yuga Labs with Bored Ape Yacht Club, and and some of these other ones, Doodles that has utilities. Atom Bomb Squad has utilities. Murakami has utilities. All of these things have bonus things with it. It's more than just the art in and of itself. It opens up a door to another world, another thing. So now it's going to be when you walk into someone's house, I give it 5 years from now. Their flexi is going to be whatever their NFT is on the wall. It'll be a digital board. You walk in and they have a Bored Ape, and they have these things. They have this or they have that. Crypto is starting to do whatever it's going to do, and crypto and NFTs go hand in hand. That's the part that people miss. So the more that crypto gets regulated in our everyday lives, the more you're going to see more with these NFTs. No, y'all don't want to hear that. I know it gets ugly, but what you're going to do when you can't run from it? It's like you turn around and you be like, "Fuck." Kroger, your favorite grocery store, got an NFT that gives you a discount when you start buying your groceries. You know what I'm saying? Just to have this NFT in your wallet, or you go get Starbucks coffee who has an NFT, and that gives you discounts on coffees.
Dude, we got Kroger just popped up Oklahoma City for the first time last year, and it's weird. They you can't go to the store. You only have to buy everything through the fucking app or online.
Yep.
And I refuse. I can't buy groceries unless I look at them, unless I put my hands on them. Because some assholes putting the bad ribeyes and the fucking fucked up fruit and vegetables and shit when you're ordering. So I just can't.
But now here's the other side of that. My son is in college at UTSA. I buy his groceries. He doesn't go to the store. I'm able to look, pick it, and go from there.
Yeah. Are you kids picky though?
No.
See, I'm picky as fuck when it comes to food. I want to make sure there ain't bugs and shit in it. And
Bugs.
nah. You know how it is. I've seen those movies where they fucking bring home a fucking poisonous spider from Colombia and shit, and it kills your whole family.
That's right.
You got to know my luck. That's exactly what's going to happen. I'll be in bed one night and some fucking four-fanged Colombian fucking spider just get me right in the jugular vein.
I'm glad you looked down and then said jugular vein. Because you wanted to say something else.
Vinny and Marcus, I have a question. Let me ask you guys, because we just went through the PFP. No, this is about NFTs since we're on the subject. We just went through the PFP meta. What do you guys think is going to be the meta when the bull run comes back around? Do you think it's still going to be PFPs, or is it just going to be fine art?
I think it's going to be fine art, to be honest with you. I think PFPs are cool. It's a great flex for social media, but I think fine art is going to be where it's going to be at.
I think that's a long-standing kind of thing where it's going to be. Yeah, I agree.
What is PFPs, fellas? Come on, talk
profile
idiots.
Profile pic. Okay. So
the picture of the apes, the CryptoPunks, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know what the floor is on Fidenzas, but during the bull run, they were close to $1 million each, right?
Yeah. And I mean, we talked about after I went to that Beeple event, right? I was talking about that, but Beeple, I mean, that's gonna be considered fine art. All those everydays that he's doing and all that stuff. I mean, there's a lot of other guys, Trevor Jones and some of these other people. Trevor Jones, he wanted to be an artist, and it took him damn near 20 years to do so, and he found it in Web3. And like one of his first projects, he made like $25 million on it, and now he's like regarded among all the fine artists. So I think there's going to be people like that who break out in Web3 as artists. And man, I've seen some really cool pieces like in some of these installations. And your traditional fine artists who are making these transitions over, like, again, it's just another medium. So like Daniel Arsham, it's like, an animated painting that just you can have on a screen, things like that. So just people are starting to transition over. And I think the art world is really going to see a lot of that. I heard of something really cool actually recently. Keith Haring was experimenting with doing digital drawings on his computer before he passed away. And now they've made those into one-of-one NFTs to sell. Like, what you would have never been able to do that before. It would have just been a file on the computer. You wouldn't have been able to do anything. But now they can actually turn it into like a semi-tangible art piece, at least something that people can own, which I thought was really cool.
Dude, did y'all hear about Mark Cuban's wallet last week?
Yeah,
What
you mean
happened?
drained? He got drained
yeah.
for about close to $1 million.
800. Yeah, it was like $848,000. It's just like, I that's the problem with me, is that's why I got the Ledger, is I'm so fucking scared to click a wrong link or to attach something to the wrong thing and lose everything. It's if someone like Mark Cuban can have his shit drained, it's scary how fragile that ecosystem is when it comes to security, but yet it's still top end when it comes to technology.
So we were actually just talking about it in a group chat that me and Marcus are in, and there are tools that you can use on your computer, like extensions that will monitor. It'll simulate the transaction before you actually do something. So if you click on a malicious link, it'll flag it beforehand and say, "Hey, this is what is going to happen." Essentially, so there are tools out there to do that. It's just that people are not necessarily all using them. I'm sure he was not using one of them, but there are things that you can do to protect yourself now. So
are you guys using any, or is any of the three of you guys using any tools like that?
I'm using one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying to move away from two-factor. Anything having to do with the text, just because you know how they're SIM swapping phones. So if you're SIM swapped, that's how they get into your MetaMask. If you have the two-factor authentication. So yeah, and don't click on links. That's for sure. That's the big one. I think people still click on links. Those links that just drain you, drain your wallet.
And even outside of not clicking on links, if you know that you got sent some shit, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. With your wallet, if you see some shit that pop up, like right now, I have a Nakamego, right? It's one of the higher level Nakamegos. In my wallet all the time, I see random, hey, free Nakamego right here, free this, free that. They're not sending out no free damn Nakamegos. So I just know that it's a malicious thing. And once I click on it, it's going to open up some other shit and my shit's going to be gone. I don't open nothing unless I know that I'm doing the transaction right then and there.
Yeah. And the other thing that I think all of us probably do is we use a burner wallet to pretty much do everything. So
I'm moving from the burner wallet.
And transfer it to your like archive or your vault wallet.
Yeah.
And you know what the new one is PDFs. If you download PDFs, that's the new one that's I guess that's the new hack that they're using. So don't download PDFs.
Damn.
But see, it's so fucking stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, but all of it is stressful, bro. Y'all are putting y'all cards in these. That's stressful. Come on now. Y'all are putting y'all cards, y'all valuable cards in these.
You using those.
Like I said, y'all are putting y'all cards in these. Y'all been putting y'all cards in them for years, and the card come up bent or whatever the case may be. I didn't even know I had this. What the hell is this?
No, I'll show you what the worst things are, which I don't understand at all. These types of things, these like, people put their cards in these card savers, and I'm like, well, this is the most flimsy shit ever. Like when
somebody in the Discord,
they'll put them in here, and I'm like, what are you doing to my card? And couldn't somebody just bend this real quick? I don't know.
Right.
That's just me.
Didn't somebody in the Discord get a 1-1-1-1 Lionel Messi or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
I'm putting that up right now.
Dude, that is nuts. And it's a gold
Oh.
vinyl, and it's a Merlin. Merlin is, aside from Topps Chrome, Merlin is like the other big,
Is it showing up?
Mm-mm.
Is it showing
I
Jacob?
guess not card brand, but
Oh, there he goes.
well, basically Topps Chrome and Merlin. Those are the two that have lineage as far as soccer cards. So
Who is this
Is it showing
guy?
up?
that,
Yeah, we see.
This is
Who,
dude. Hey,
you said
but
who was
this
this
is
guy?
this is dude. That's Jacob Dunn. He's fucking an Oklahoma dude. He
oh,
was
that's
the dude.
that's Jacob.
He,
Okay, got
he
it.
did the freestyle. He was the freestyle battle rapper dude.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, I
Dude,
love
this
his. I love
guy's
his
got a
mustache.
fucking horseshoe up his ass. He was the one that when we started doing the collectible show, and I was telling everybody about Luka Doncic, he went to Walmart and bought a blaster and hit a blue refractor Doncic fucking silver. I forget he sold it way too early, but I mean he has an absolute horseshoe, and it can't happen to a nicer guy. But yeah, I mean a 1-of-1 fucking messy superfractor of Merlin from a hobby box. I mean,
Wait, was it a hobby or was it blaster?
it was a hobby box. It says right there, but on the House of Stein. Can y'all see this?
Yeah, we can see it. We
Is
can
it
see it.
sharing? See, my buddy pulled this last night out of a hobby box. No
I
camera
mean,
footage.
it's small. We can't see that, but we can't see the writing. But we can see. We see the picture. It's we. You ain't got to make it no bigger trade. We see it. We there. I see the man with the funny mustache and everything. I love it.
Dude, that is. I mean, you look at some of the comps of similar cards. I mean, there's a good chance he makes $20,000 on that if he wants to.
Yeah.
The way Messi cards are going right now too.
Fuck, I mean, that's one of those ones. I mean, Lee, could you imagine pulling something like that? I've never pulled a good card my whole fucking life. I told this story, not fucking one ever. And I just can't imagine pulling something like that. I would absolutely have a heart attack.
Man, listen, just like the guy that pulled the 101 Magic Lord of the Ring card, it was a guy and he is worth like $2 million. And he was holding the card and his hands were shaking like this because he was putting it in a sleeve.
Dude, the guys that hit the triple logo fractor LeBron one last year, those fucking goobers I thought they were gonna kill one another.
That's how it goes.
I guess the big thing now is, do you grade it? Because 101s, if it's anything under a 9, it's kind of like you need to crack it. There's no point in having like a PSA 8 or a PSA 7. But if it's a 10, that's perfect. A 9, that's still good. But what would you guys do?
See, I've been honestly surprised about like what some of the 101s go for. Like some of those national treasures and things like that are 6.5, 7s, 8s, the 1-of-1s, the logo mans. But since they're 1-of-1s, they still command an insane value regardless of it because it's the only one produced. So I don't know. That's an interesting thought. I mean, if he puts it on, and like you said, it gets a 9, or even heaven forbid if it gets a 10, it's probably gonna increase the value. But what, 3-fold, 4-fold? I honestly don't know. I don't know what the multiplier would be on a mega card like that. But I mean, I'm with you. If you roll the dice, and if not, you fucking crack that some bitch back out, and nobody has to know nothing.
Exactly.
Unless it shows up on a census, and then you're fucked. All right, hey, I want to show something to Marcus and Vinny. I've always wanted one of these, and I know as soon as I'm going to buy it, it's going to fucking there's going to be some news come out of some sort that it's going to they're going to be away with him. But dude, Bat Cow for $315.
That's a Marcus question. I still haven't gotten in on Bat Cows.
Trey Songz
I haven't
said
either.
this.
That's what they seem to be throwing stuff though the collector's way.
Man,
the windows for the NFT drops, and I'm sorry to interrupt. You know way more about this than I do. I just was from what I've seen. So I mean, it seems like they're continuously trying to give those Bat Cow holders a little bit of preference. So
if you had a Bat Cow, you could have got the Todd McFarlane Batman cover today. I think it went live. Right. And you were able to jump in early before everybody else to get it. The Bat Cows are literally the gift that keeps on giving. Now, I don't feel some long story about some short. This show's much better than some long story about some short money. Well, thank you. Yes, thank you. Okay.
That's the homie Ultra Maximus.
Yeah, I know. I love Ultra Maximus. That's my guy. But with the bat cows, right? And I don't feel bad because remember, Ralph got the Batman #1. Ralph was able to get it. I was on the phone. I was texting Jim Lee because I was like, Jim. I was like, if I text Jim Lee, I know because Jim. I mean, I'm sorry. It's the truth. It is.
I love it.
If I text Jim, maybe Jim can get me a Batman #1 because the president of DC Comics at this point. He
ain't been doing a lot lately. He should have the time to help.
Not yet, but he's got some things up his sleeve that he's getting ready to roll out. So we're super excited about that. But
yeah, Marcus calls me. He's like, I need to talk to Jim. I'm like, Jim? Yeah, Jim Lee. Jim? Yeah, like, oh, Jim you guys Bentley. Are on a first name basis.
Yeah, we're on first name basis, buddy. That's my guy.
Dude, Marcus used to send us fucking photos of him at like lunch with Jim Lee and shit. It's just like, fuck.
Yeah, but Jim didn't get one either. He tried. I mean, he tried like everybody else. I got 2 cows. He has 3, and he didn't even get it neither. He missed all 3 of them. So I texted him. I said, man, my homeboy Ralph got one. I said, how did you or I not get one? And he was like, man, it is what it is. He said, man, I'm not even finna go after them and tell me to send me one.
Man, if I got one and then you asked me for it, I'd say the same thing. I'd be like, man, I don't even know. I didn't even get one, bro.
He ain't get one.
Dude, Jim Lee probably has a couple of those in real. He probably has the.
He probably got comic. The real comic in real life.
He doesn't need the NFT version.
Come on, bro. I don't even need that.
Dude, Ralph is fucking Thanos with the fucking infinity gems when it comes to e-commerce, knowing how to get shit better than you. They're telling you, if there's something coming out that has value, Ralph knows the exact way to beat your ass and get it before slow people have a chance of getting it. And that's all it is now. Bots very rarely work, but you have to know what time, things are going to be uploaded. Is there a password? You got to make sure your clock on your computer is updated so you don't lose those seconds. Matter so much on those big drops that people have no idea. You want to make sure you're signed into your shop accounts, your PayPal accounts, your Google, your GPays, your Apple Pays. Make sure everything's working when it comes to these big drops. And
like the Pokemon, I didn't hit the Pokemon. That Van Gogh, I didn't. I mean, I think they're gonna drop again though, right? They're supposed to.
Yeah, it's supposed to redo. Hey, do you guys want to see my haul from 151? I didn't. I did. I got a little haul from 151. The Pokemon 151 that just dropped.
Oh, I got that. Okay. Sorry, it's funny. I didn't know what the fuck you're talking about. I was like, is he talking about like a liquor? Is he talking about a strip club? What's he talking about?
Absolutely.
I was like, all right, well, let's. I mean, if we can get a review, let's get a review.
Well, let's do it. I don't know if y'all can see that because I'm trying to. Oh no, you gotta make me big, Trey.
Are these new? These are new Pokemon, right?
I keep forgetting fucking Ralph ain't here to fucking help us out today.
Yeah. So.
Wait,
oh damn. Okay.
All right. So that is.
Kangaskhan.
Yeah. Funny.
These are new guys, right? These are new.
These are new guys. This is 151 Mew EX.
Ooh, is that a VMAX?
Yeah, it's the EX. Ninetales.
Nice.
Are these boxes worth hoarding? These 151s. Everybody.
Some of them are. You can get some of the ones. Some of them, like I didn't get Charizard, but I got some of the other ones. Like
a box sealed. Like if you have these boxes sealed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and get those. So Giovanni's Charisma. Some of these are like $20 cards, things like that.
Oh. What's the heavy hitter in this box?
Is that Charizard?
The heavy hitters in
that cool looking Charizard.
Hold on, I saw an SGC a minute ago.
I think we talked about it a few months ago, or not a few months, but I think last month.
That one.
There we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
This one.
Sorry, Marcus, I'll get this off in 2 seconds, but that was the one that SGC was really excited about, the ultra rare Charizard EX.
Oh shit! Okay.
How much did it go for?
I have not looked and seen what it goes for. I just saw that like 2 days ago they posted that people are just now sending 151s and they're getting them back out. So that was kind of what was, the whole when 151 finally clicked when you said that you got some. But obviously this is the one that everyone's trying to get.
That's not the one everyone's trying to get.
Tell us.
The one that everyone's trying. This is a Charizard right here, but this is the EX. Right. So this is like $40. It's not the real one. Oh, there you go. It's nice.
And there's a Japanese set as well, right?
Yeah. Now the ones that the energy cards are amazing.
Why?
Yeah, this you got to see them in person. It's hard to explain, but they look much better than the regular energy cards. So I got mostly the ones that got made some money. I don't have all of them. Now when we get Obsidian Flame, I'm in there.
Oh, that's the card. I like that card.
Yeah, that one.
That's cool. So what is the chase? What's
what
the
was
big
that one?
chase?
Sorry, Marcus. What was that one you just showed? Sorry.
Which one?
What was that dragon looking one you just showed?
Charizard.
That's
This is from
Charizard.
Obsidian Flame though.
But what's the big chase? You said
the big chase is Charizard, but he's flying and it's a dope ass card. He's flying. Like
he's flying. Isn't he flying in all of them?
No, but he's actually flying like over some mountains or some
okay.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it's fire. So
that's the only thing about Pokemon I never really understood, because in cards in sports cards there's a refractor, super refractor, different colors. In Pokemon it's a VMAX, right? VMAX is the I guess the refractor.
Now I'm waiting to open these.
So
broken.
Yeah. Now this right here is like $700 right now. $600, $700.
Shit.
I forget what the chase is in there, but it's gonna open it.
Speaking about that, did you guys see this?
No,
Woman makes desperate plea after accidentally selling.
I did.
Cards for $90. So her father, this was in Massachusetts, had 3 first edition vintage Pokemon booster boxes worth up to $15,000 sealed, and she sold them for $30 a piece. The guys took them, sold them at a local card shop, and then I guess she put out this SOS about it, trying to get them back because her father was devastated. And I guess the shop owner sold 2 of them. He still had one, and he refused to sell it back to her. She was going to buy it, but
the game, that's part of the game. If you sold it, like, I mean, it's a sad story, but
it is.
No,
would you guys give it back?
No, absolutely not. But let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you.
They're more
happened.
than $15,000 for a sealed first edition box, though, right? That seems light on the box price to me.
Yeah, that doesn't.
What did Logan Paul pay for his?
Yeah, stupid money.
Yeah,
it's not the same set though, right?
No,
it said first edition.
No, but it's not the actual Pokemon first edition. I think it was a different set.
No,
it said first edition vintage Pokemon card booster boxes, but
I mean, I guess it could have been some of the other ones. That's true. It didn't say.
I thought it was. Oh, it said 2. She sold 3 2000 Team Rocket first edition boxes.
There you go.
Okay. Those are the ones that the Dark Charizard, the Dark cards, right?
Yeah, that ain't shit. I mean, it's shit, but you get my point. Yeah.
Man, could you imagine, dude?
I'm finna tell
some
you.
guys, that's his life saving his fucking daughter. Just,
I'm finna tell you something way worse than that. So at my comic book store that I get stuff from, my guy calls me and he was like, "Hey, bro, I got these Pokemon cards. You want to come pick them up?" I was like, "Yeah, I know, Mason, they all do it, whatever the case may be." It was like, "Yeah, I'll come get them." So I grabbed them, and he sold them to me. I think I spent like maybe $200 to $300 for the Pokemon card. It was like the unopened joints, right? I come to find out what I was open was the base set. This was before I really was really engulfed in Pokemon. So I'm opening up base set, the card packs. Those packs go for $10,000 a pack. So I didn't even realize I opened it until it was open. And the guy was like, "Hey, why'd you open those?" I was like, "Bro, y'all told me the Charizard was in there." I said, me and Mason sat and opened the cards up. He was like, "Bro, them packs are worth $10,000 a pack." Now, what I did get out of it was the Pikachu, the one that came back as a 10, the Clefairy, first appearance, Clefairy, Blastoise. I got a Blastoise out of it. So I mean, it's made money, but it's way different than 80,000. I would have had $80,000. It was like 8 packs. I would have had $80,000 over just whatever those cards are worth right now. So it's like I got to sit on the cards for it to make the kind of money that it was there. Unopened. True story.
Wow.
True story.
So I wanted to talk about something. It was pretty cool. A couple days ago, our buddy who popped up a few seconds ago, Ultra Magnus, posted a list talking about. Oh shit! Hold on. Bird's way fucking quicker on the finger than I am on this shit. But it's the 15 best new Marvel heroes of 2023. Kind of want to go over the list a little bit because there has been a couple of them that I've talked about on here. There's been a couple that a couple other people have talked about, Ralph, etc. So I just want to go over this real quick and see what you guys' thoughts were. So number 15 was Rasputin. What the fuck? What Roman numeral is that, Vinny?
Wait, what? Sorry,
That's
I would
six.
4, isn't it?
No, that's 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Knew there was some smart people in this. But Rasputin 4, what the fuck just happened? Okay, there we go. Rasputin 4, which has been a pretty big member of the Krakoan era of the X-Men saga. She's basically a chimera. She has about 5 or 6 different of the Omega mutants powers all put in one. She has traveled back in time, and she's in the main continuity right now and trying to help the mutants fight against Orcus. So she's another one of those characters that is from the future and has come back, and it's going to be interesting, like I said, to see exactly how big and popular she gets. There's been a lot of cool mutants, been created in the last 3 to 4 years, in my opinion. Number 14 is Nightshade. I honestly don't know a lot about Nightshade.
Yeah, that's the one I was clueless on.
She's her first appearance is in the Marvel's Voices Pride 2023. I did not read that. I honestly don't know a lot about her. She looks a little bit like what's the other Marvel character?
Photon?
The girl that was in. Yeah, she looks a little bit like Photon here, but
yeah.
Do you know anything about her, Vinny, Marcus?
I mean, no, not really.
It looks like she might have the same powers.
All right, let's go to Moon Knight 77. It is a predecessor to Mark Spector, apparently. It was story debuted in Moon Knight 20 this year. Shows their first meeting. To be fair, I know a lot of people and talk comics with a lot of people. I have never even heard of this. So I don't know how big Moon Knight 77 is going to be. So it goes with this. Now, number 12, I have heard a little bit of scuttlebutt and talk about, and that is Blade 2099. I think Blade's going to have a big, whatever the next phase of the Marvel Universe is, and we're going to talk about this for a second once we're done this comic book segment, but I really think that Blade is going to have a chance to be big in whatever the next phase of the Marvel Universe is. So any characters like that, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't know anything about, what does it say here? Dr. Weston. His father, Eric Brooks. Okay, so this is Blade's son, so that's interesting. We have Blade's daughter and a Blade's son now.
When did the daughter, was it last year that the daughter debuted? Was it 2022?
Yeah, she had her first appearance was at Avengers. No, it was
the free comic
book. Momoka. Yeah, free comic book day 1 in 1,000. Momoka.
She lives in Atlanta.
So no, what is it? So that's another one to keep your eye on, I guess. The next one's Muzzle. Again, another character involved in the Marvel Voices Pride. I've never heard anyone discuss his character either, to be completely fair.
I've heard he's got like a little tourniquet for no reason.
Yeah, it's that we're going to go on out. Number 10's interesting because...
Yeah, she's already showed up, right, in live
Yeah,
action.
she was in the Moon Knight 2022 or 2021. I'm trying to remember. So I guess her
22.
first comic book appearance is is this year, and a lot of people were excited about it. I remember there was a bunch of argument. Was it the first appearance of Moon Knight 15, or was it the Dark Moon Knight, or I forget, I forget what the other book was, but there was multiple arguments in the Discord about that right then and there. So that told me that there was a little bit of heat on this character, and people were excited about her. So I'm surprised that she's at 10. Number 9, Rec Rap, which I have talked about on this and talked about in the Discord, and think this character is going to show up down the line. It is basically, what do you call it when something's spelled backwards? Come on, Vinny, you're the smart.
Are you talking about I know the word. You mean when you can say it forwards and backwards, or you
no, just like, oh shit, I don't know what it is. But anyway, Rec Rap is spelled backwards as Parker, and this is the demonic version of Peter Parker that came up through the Limbo event in Chasm, and when Madeline Pryor, the whole deal with New York City. Well, what was interesting was this character was one of the ones that didn't go back to hell, and it's still somewhere out there in continuity. And I think it has, not necessarily going to be Venom, but I think you're definitely going to see this character because it was a demon that wanted to do good and end up doing good and breaking away from the other demons in Limbo to kind of go against the grain. So that's one that I think people should take there's a 1 in 25 first appearance variant that has his first appearance in it. So, and they're still pretty cheap. So again, 2 of the banished one, I have no fucking clue. Yeah, no, we're going to just skip that one. Eve Warlock, I have heard a little bit about that. Nothing too exciting, though. Again, I think some of these. Samurai Venom, no, that is another one of the ones that have gotten popular. First appears in the Extreme Venomverse, #1 story. There's been a lot of new Venoms and Kids Venom and everything else created. Cell Xenon, again, a new Avengers character. I don't know a lot about her. I've not been reading the Avengers. Is anybody else keeping up with the Avengers?
Was that what Venom was? Was that Kid Venom? That or it's Samurai Venom.
Samurai
Venom.
Venom.
How about no Samurai?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of saying. Like some of these are kind of struggling. Some of these ones I'm kind of like, here we go. 4, Wagnerine, another one that has popped up recently. A Nightcrawler's one. It was one of the lead-ins to the what was the event called? The Sins of Sinister, excuse me. It's basically a Wolverine Nightcrawler Chimera created by Sinister, and there was an army of them. So I don't necessarily think that this is going to be a reoccurring character. So I think 4 is way too high on this list, to be honest with you. It's kind of like any one of those Nightcrawler characters, those Maglums that they've been doing recently. There's just not a lot. Nightcrawler is just not that popular. So number 3, a lot of people think number 3 should have been number 1, and it's kind of hard to argue based on sales, but we'll get to number 1 in a second. Spider-Boy, which we've talked about in this show on multiple times. And the thing that's crazy to me about Spider-Boy is the momentum really hasn't slowed down. I mean, like people are still excited about it. I mean, fucking Chungy was excited as hell about the Spider-Boy snowboard variant coming out in a couple. Like, he was legit excited, which I like seeing dudes like that excited, but I just didn't think Spider-Boy was going to hold the way that it has, and it has.
The only thing I mean, don't you kind of feel like they're rushing everything with him because they introduced the Kid Venom, and Kid Venom is gonna get his own series, and Spider-Boy already has his own series. It's like, I mean, I guess there is some development to these characters, but it's like they just appeared and they're already throwing them into an ongoing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see exactly where the, I know his name's Bailey now, but it's going to be interesting to see exactly what his origin is and, where he comes from, etc. So I am kind of curious to see what goes on with that. I was not a big, I hate Dan Slott, and I'm not a big fan of Ramos's art. So I was pretty down on the character early, but I am kind of curious to see what direction they go with it. 2 is Jackpot, which this character has gotten a lot of heat, to be honest with you, in the last 4 or 5 days. I've seen multiple people have discussions about this, and that's when basically, I guess, Mary Jane gets her powers. Yeah, she gets her own superpowers. So I don't know a lot about it. I guess
Yeah, same here. What book was
because
it?
there's a cover with her and Black Cat after she gets her powers as a variant, and the guys were arguing about it in the chat. So
Hmm.
I don't know. This is one of those ones where I mean, I remember when people were excited about Mary Jane and the fucking Iron Man armor. I mean, where those people are holding their nuts right now, matter and shit. So I just don't see anything like these Mary Jane characters having any longevity.
I mean,
Just my
I guess I understand. I guess I understand the hype because she obviously has a pretty huge following, fan wise. So I guess this iteration of her is I mean, I guess that's why it's catching heat. But yeah, I don't know much about this. I don't even know what book this came where she first appeared.
And number one is a character that I have been fired up about, and I'm very excited that he's number one, and that is
Yeah.
John Ironfire,
Yep.
who is a very interesting mutant that played a huge part in the Sins of Sinister. His first appearance was when the Storm Brotherhood of Mutants. At one point in time, down way in the future, he becomes Storm's lover, etc., etc. But he has the ability to turn his blood into different metals. He's a very, very fucking powerful mutant. And he is right now. What's interesting is he's one of the. I've talked about him before. Though, god dang it, why can't I think right now? The damn. Jesus Christ. He's able to bring all the people back. He's the not the Krakoan, but the Araki mutant. Anyway, he was one of the 100 people. Anyway, this mutant, he was able to every time. He had an army of 100 people, and when he killed somebody, you entered his army, and he was able. The White Sword, thank you, Ultra Magnus. Jesus Christ, this is what happens when you don't get any sleep and you drink alcohol for the first time in a while. But the White Sword, he was able to resurrect and his 100 soldiers, and that's the main line early on in the Powers of X story and some of that. But John Ironfire was one of his 100. And was basically sent when the Spiral Tower was going down. The White Sword sent him to go get help, and he's been thrust back into the original community the same way that Rasputin has. So, he said his first appearance is a Storm of the Brotherhood of Mutants #1, and there is a good Brooks variant. No, not Brooks.
Art Adams.
Fucking Art Adams variant that comes with it.
Yeah,
It's got a rendition of Storm. She's got some big hooters in it, and a lot
Hooters.
So
Hooters. I'm up on the John Ironfire guy. Like I'm up on him.
I don't know at all. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm up on him.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
crazy.
just think the times he's shown up, there's like so much to him, and there's so much backstory they have to work. They can create an ongoing. They can get some heat behind him. But I guess they choose to push Spider Boy versus John Ironfire.
mutants are gonna. I honestly think mutants are gonna be a very, very slow play, and I'm okay with it. Like I said, I think it's gonna take quite a while for any of these mutants that I've talked about to gather enough heat where you're going to make any money flipping books. And that's what's great is you're able to pick up some of the early the early books that a lot of these mutants I've talked about. The sword books are the ones that are extremely hard to find some of the variants, and it has some very keen first appearance in there. And you can get them all for dirt cheap because no one's looking for anything right now. And that's what's fun to me when it comes to comics and speculating, is the stuff that not necessarily is going to be a quick flip in 2 years, but what's going to be a good flip in 10 years. And if you stockpile right, perfect example, the people that, the Ultimate Fallout 4 variants. I mean, we know people that every time they could find one for $50, they bought it, and they damn near fucking retired during the pandemic off selling, Ultimate Fallout 4s. So if you stockpile the right amount of some of these ratio variants and you're able to hit, I mean, it's life-changing money. So that's why some of these variants, these 1 in 50s and 1 in 100s that have first appearances attached to them, and you have some faith in these books, there's a chance to do really good and have a really nice turnaround down the road for a pretty minimal investment.
Yeah, that 1 for 50, that Art Adams, I couldn't believe it. The guy had him for 50% off. Like if you bought 10, you got him for 50% off. So that's $27. I'm not gonna pass that up.
Nuts.
No, I mean you really can't. Shout out to like I said, Ultra Maximus, Jizzy, and Fedora the Kong. Fedora does a really good show with Ferdbird, and I don't like a lot of people who talk comics, and I actually really like Fedora. He you can tell he reads his shit. He knows what's going on. He's not afraid to voice his opinion, and there needs to be more and more people like that, in my opinion. So appreciate you guys for hopping on with us for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna hit on some sports card stuff for a minute. Ralph, we got basketball season. We got training camps about to start. Dame Dash is a buck. Playoffs are about
Dame
to start
Dash.
in base.
Dame
not
Lillard. We knew who it
Dame
was.
Dash.
Y'all knew what he was talking about. Dame.
Yeah,
Dame Lillard. Hey, look, listen.
I've
Thank
been
y'all
up
for
too
coming.
long.
Thank y'all for coming and hanging out with us. Trey is sleepy.
Jesus Christ.
It is time for us to tune out. He said Dame Dash. What he meant to say was Dame Lillard made a dash to the Bucks.
Dame
And
Dollars, isn't that the nickname?
Dame Dollars.
Yeah, I thought so. I was thinking. But you know what's funny is Adrian Wojnarowski did not break that story. Fucking Cameron did on Instagram. If you look at the timing, he had
Did he?
24 minutes. Yeah.
Oh shit.
He said Dame called him and told him. So I thought that was interesting. So with the baseball playoffs starting, hockey started, we got Ryder Cup tomorrow, which no one else gives a fuck about, so never mind. But I mean, what are you excited about?
I mean, my strong point is baseball. I do collect some basketball, some football, but I mean, football and basketball is like, I don't know if you can really prospect the way you do in baseball. So that's why I really don't try to spend too much money on football or basketball. I put most of my money into baseball. That's what I know. But obviously Wemby, I don't know if he's gonna have cards showing up soon in Panini, but I mean that's the big chase, right?
What is your national convention Prism doing price wise?
I haven't even checked, but I think they were 1,200 raw at one point. I know a PSA 10 went for 4.5K, and this was around around that time when it had just, I think it was whenever the national was. So what, June, July time frame?
Yeah.
But I think some people they haven't been really checking for it. But now that basketball season's around the corner, I think things might start to pick up for that. But like I said, I haven't really checked prices, so I don't really know what it's doing at the moment.
The football cards are starting to come out. Like I said, the mosaics, the panini, stuff like that. They posted the mega boxes a day. You said you're a little bit bullish on this quarterback class potential, so you're doing a little stockpiling.
Yeah.
Stroud's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, so I guess my thinking is, when's the last time there was a QB draft? Because I mean, let's be real, in football, QB cards are the ones that really move the needle. So that's kind of my thinking is, when's the last time there's been a draft class like this as far as quarterbacks? There's 5 or 6 that people might think could be something. Yeah, there's Richardson, Stroud, Bryce Young, Levis, and
right.
O'Connell on the Raiders. He's on the bench right now, but he could be something. So, and he's in this product. So that's kind of my thinking is, just put some of these aside, and if one of these guys somehow eventually wins the Super Bowl, that's kind of my thinking.
I don't think you're wrong. I mean, it's like that class that had the Joe Burrow. Those were dirt cheap, and as soon as Burrow started, throwing numbers up and staying healthy, those boxes went crazy on this Prism. I remember I had a couple blasters. I think I got a couple blasters still left, but I mean, like I said, if Bryce Young continues to play the way he does, and Richardson and Young and everything else, they're out there playing really. Bryce Young's setting records for fucking rookies as far as passing yards, touchdowns, interception ratio, etc. So you can't ignore things like that. and he
Yeah,
don't
I
have that
mean,
much talent around him yet. I mean, with that Tank kid
exactly.
that's doing really, really good. Tank Dell, excuse me, is his name, is doing really, really good. But
I mean, it's still all a gamble with modern sports cards. It's not like vintage. Vintage is supposed to appreciate because these guys are not around. But just like the Wander Franco situation, something can happen and the value of all the cards go down. So I mean, nothing is for certain. I mean, I'm only putting money that I'm okay burning. That's kind of what I'm doing. That's the way I think about it. So it's just money that I'm okay. If this stuff goes to zero, I'm okay with it.
not bad. It's good advice, to be honest with you. So, what did you think of Star Wars this week? What did you think of Ahsoka Episode 7, Ralph?
To be honest, I've been enjoying it. I know you kind of have your issues with it. Some of the people in the Discord have issues with it. I think this is the first time in a long time that something has been decent Star Wars wise. So I'm just enjoying it. Obviously, there's issues with it. It's not perfect, but I is there really a perfect Star Wars movie? I mean, you can sit and nitpick every single Star Wars movie that's come out, but I think for the people that enjoy Star Wars, they just enjoy seeing these characters in live action. And we're getting Thrawn, we got Ezra, we got Sabine, we got all these characters. The Purgles. I know you don't like the whales,
Dude,
but
I honestly, I usually just, I like a lot of this shit. I just do it. I just say it otherwise just to piss off Wade, to be honest with you. That's the easiest way that's the easiest way to like page Wade. If I need to like talk to him about something, I'll just talk shit about Star Wars and he'll respond quicker to that than he will like a direct message. So,
but your honest opinion, are you enjoying it at least?
oh yeah, I'm excited about every Tuesday. Like, I mean, I was legit the last
Yeah.
3 Tuesday nights. I mean, I've legitimately been waiting. I mean, like I said, the episode 5 with the Anakin, Darth Vader, whatever that fucking life bridge shit was. Like I said, there's so much stuff I'm still not caught up on from the Clone Wars and the Rebels, and I'm probably not going to get caught up on it if I'm going to be fair. So trying to learn all those little ins and outs and pieces and stuff like that is just, man, Rosario Dawson, she's rough when it comes to the fight scenes and just a lot of the physical activity.
I heard it's a lot of this going on.
Yeah, all she does is cross her arms, and I mean, like I said, the lightsaber scenes are just horrible. I mean, they honestly look like some like high school YouTube kids are trying to do it. So I don't know. I like some of the stuff, like I said. I just don't understand a lot of the stuff that's going on. I don't understand why Thrawn looks like he's on his second trimester.
He's been there for 10 years though, so the guy's aged. I mean, who
He
knows
is
what he's
aged, but I
eating?
mean, he's fucking in some new galaxy. How do you get fat in some new galaxy? Not like you know all the foods and shit. You got to try that shit carefully.
Right.
And he's eating fucking new kinds of shrimp, getting all fat and shit in the suit.
He eating prawns.
So,
Thrawn is eating prawns.
oh, and then I don't know. There's just so much stuff like the Captain Enoch stuff, and I know this is all leading into the next Mandalorian season, and then Filoni's movie eventually. But I don't think there's going to be a giant ending to episode 8 next week. I think there might be, I don't know. They have to do something with Balin, obviously, with the unfortunate passing of Ray Stevenson. I think they have to. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think that's what they're doing? I mean,
Well, it's got to end. The way it ends has to involve Thrawn not losing, right? He has to somehow escape the galaxy that they're currently in to continue the story. It can't be where Ezra and Ahsoka end up winning. That's the only thing I can really think. If I was going to spec on what's going to happen, that's kind of what I think will happen. Is that Thrawn is going to escape that galaxy they're at. He's going to end up winning, and the story is going to continue that way.
Wade thinks that everyone's going to make it back to the right universe except Ahsoka. So Ahsoka's going to get left behind.
I mean, I hope there's some. I mean, it can't all be. It can't end in a happy story. It can't be a happy ending. Something bad has to happen. I hope it does, because Marvel recently there really isn't. There's no consequences for the things that are going on. It kind of just seems like there's a happy ending at the end of every movie or every show. So I hope Star Wars doesn't, or this show doesn't end that way.
I was a little bit disappointed in Ezra Bridger. I thought he was going to be a badass, and some people can
But
argue and say some of the shit that he was doing was badass. But I mean, the comedic scene about no, it's your lightsaber, no, you take it, you this and that. I get it, I do, but I was just hoping that he was going to take the lightsaber and start fucking mowing people. But from episode 1 till now, Sabine's got the most kills out of anyone by far. She's the baddest
yeah,
ass of anyone on that show. And I'm just waiting for a fucking badass Jedi to show back up again. Seems like all the Jedi are kind of pussy now. That's why it was
the
so
one
cool about Mando. Mando doesn't give a fuck. He would shoot you. He will stab you with a sword. He does not give a shit. He was just a badass. And that's it was like
the
Boba
one
Fett. He got his
thing
ass kicked
there.
every episode.
Okay, there was one thing I thought was pretty lame, because everything up until that point kind of led me to believe she was a badass, and it was Shin. When Shin is surrounded by, and I guess she was surrounded by other Jedis, she kind of just ran away and took off on the horse. I would have thought she would at least, try to fight somebody and not just run away. But I don't know. I thought that was kind of strange.
I thought it had something to do with the Ray Stevenson probably dying. I don't know. They're gonna have to have something. They probably had stuff done for season 2 with Valen as the villain and
Mhm.
with him out of the picture. There had to be some
Right.
connective tissue
Yeah,
from that
that makes sense.
saga. That was what my thought was because the whole scene. If you look at it, she's out. She's the only one in that frame of the CGI, so it almost
Yeah,
looked like it was shot
after the
differently.
fact.
So it could have
Mhm.
been.
But I'm
I
enjoying
guess
it.
I didn't realize too that I guess Ezra's chainmail was made from Stormtrooper dog tags. That was pretty fucking
I
cool.
didn't
I didn't
catch that.
realize. Yep, that's pretty fucking
He did
cool.
seem a bit goofy. Now that I think about it, and you're bringing it up, he did seem a bit goofy. But I mean, he was kind of
Dude,
goofy in Rebels. I mean, he wasn't a badass.
right.
He
It's
wasn't
the
like
way he told
he
me.
wasn't an Anakin. Yeah, Anakin's kind of always been, too cool. Like he's got his own swag. Ezra's never been that way, so he's kind of been a goofball, kind of like a Luke, kind of like Luke before he was aware of the Force and the Jedi's and all that shit. Um, I'm not comparing him to Luke, but I mean, Luke was
Right,
kind of a
right.
goofball in the beginning. So
I just was like, how many years this motherfucker been exiled, having to hang out with these fucking weird fucking shrimp people with turtle fucking shells, and he's all smiling and like, hey, we're gonna get back. It's like, bitch, where's the fucking plane and how do we get back home? I mean, there's just way too much calmness involved for someone who's been stranded for that long, in my opinion. Was it 10 years or whatever it was? I forget what
I
these
think it's
people are
10
saying.
years.
Whatever it was. I mean, there's just no urgency to get back. I mean, he's just like, hey, Savine, tell me about your mom and dad.
And what went on in
Oh
those 10
shit.
years? Does he even know that Thrawn is on the planet, or is he kind of just chilling, been living on his own? I'm pretty sure Thrawn is aware of him, but is he aware of Thrawn?
Yeah, there's got to be a story on how where they both ended up where they did from at the
Hmm.
end of Rebels. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, it's probably there'll probably be some cool moments. The 3PO moment last episode was pretty
Oh,
cool. I
that was badass. I thought that was badass.
I smiled, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. I mean that's the kind of nostalgia that once a year I'm not mad at. It's like that Luke from the season 1 of Mando.
Mhm.
Some of that stuff was cool. So I don't know. A lot of people are talking about it. It's interesting. Like I said, it's interesting to see, people talk about storylines and characters and theories, new stuff for the first time in a very, very long time. So
Shit. My bad, guys.
it's Tokyo.
Turn that phone off and go to bed.
But I don't think it's really spiked anything, right? Collectible wise. I mean, I
Nah.
think it might have small spikes here and there, but nothing significant. I think the Canon 1 for 25, I was telling you, Trey, that I've seen it kind of do something. I think the first 2 weeks people were banking, or before this released, people were banking on that 1 for 25. People dumped it the first 2 weeks. And after, I think, episodes 4 and 5, around that time, I seen some of them kind of go up, but nothing too crazy.
He said, nah.
No.
That motherfucker Wade can type faster than most people. Dude can get through some. He can get through some sentences. Oh, Vinny, you got any video game wisdom to impart upon us?
Nah, nothing today. I went through. If anybody caught last week, so I kind of went through my Japan journey. But no, not too much really, man. I am kind of excited about. There's a heritage auction, a Japanese auction on heritage coming up in a few weeks. So I'm kind of excited. So I'll probably talk about those results when that happens. But probably just I got more variants to talk about and stuff like that coming up next few weeks.
Speaking of the Star Wars stuff, the first pre-orders for the Sabine Black Series, Ahsoka, Ezra, and a few characters that have never been done outside of the animated versions of the characters were released up this week, and it's pretty crazy. Sabine sold out. I think Ezra sold out last I looked, and Omar V, who's in the chat right now, the action figure guru, the guy who knows more about action figures. Him and 78 are they're the men when it comes to that shit. So it was interesting to hear his takes.
Maybe Omar can answer this. Are they gonna restock that stuff? I feel like those figures got to be mass produced, right? I mean, they're out of stock for a couple days and then they restock them next month, kind of thing.
Dude, it's like that Bad Batch ones, dude. Like, what's funny is I check Walmart 2 or 3 times a week just by habit, and if one of the things I check's Black Series, dude. They recycle every one of the cases.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
except the Bad Batch. So it's almost like they're short printed. And I'm curious if they'll do a half-ass short print on these. Because like you said, if they made a gazillion, they're going to sell a shit ton of Ezra's,
right.
Ahsokas, and Sabines. I mean, they're just they probably couldn't make enough, or they couldn't sell out every single time. So it'll be interesting to see if they do not necessarily a short print, but if it is like those Bad Batch Black Series, and if they are, those suckers could be $150, $200 figures when they first come out.
That Sabine doll that you brought up?
Yeah, our buddy, it is. He said it's from old Ronan Khan, our friend from France, old CBSI guy, posted that the very first Sabine action figure technically was this doll that came out. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Marcus, tell a story while I look for this.
There I was walking down the street, and the craziest thing happened. I seen a leprechaun selling crack on the corner. I spoke to the leprechaun. I said, "Leprechaun, what are you doing?" The leprechaun said, "I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So I would suggest you buy this crack from me, because if you buy it from someone else, it's weed. It's not crack."
Marcus, have you bought Pepe? Did you buy any more Pepe?
Absolutely.
You see what he's doing?
Absolutely. Bought Pepe. I bought Pond. I bought PNDC. I'm in the mix. I want to be Pepe Pond Maxi.
Yes.
I ride with Polly. A lot of people don't ride with Polly. I see what Polly's doing. I ride with Polly.
All right, I found it. So anyway, like I said, our buddy Ronan Conference posted this. Said, I watched a YouTube video by a guy who works in the toy industry talking about the perfect storm that was the Forces of Destiny doll line. Only a few figures. They put them in the boys' aisle. No boy would buy them, and the girls didn't see them. Luke was the Ken. Kylo was the bad boy. Ken and some of the last figures were Sabine and Ahsoka. The perfect storm and as a future chase collectible. So this is the Ren figure. And there is like I said, it's a Barbie-sized Sabine Wren, and the collection's called Star Wars Forces of Destiny. And I honestly think it's really good fucking speculation. Really, really good speculation.
It looks strange, and compared to all the other Star Wars type figures that come out, it doesn't look like anything that I typically see. The Black Series, that sort of stuff.
And it's one of those ones where I think that if that character becomes more and more popular,
yeah,
and girls start gravitating to her, it'll be like the Harley Quinn situation potentially. And I mean, the doll could potentially be a fucking monster. So something to look at. I got mine for 22 of them for $54, so they were $27. ship from Toy Wiz. There were 6 of them the last I looked. So those are the kind of stuff I kind of like specking on cheap. I mean, like I said, you're not gonna screw up depending on what they do with Sabine Wren, and they could kill her off next fucking episode with my luck. So you know
No,
what
I
I mean?
don't
That's
think
exactly
I
what
don't think
happened.
she's not going anywhere anytime soon. I think she's kind of turned into the main character of the series. It's not really Ahsoka.
It's cool, man, because the fact that she's like both worlds, the Mandalorian and has Force Jedi powers. I saw something. I did see this. I was curious. We get curious to see what Wade's thought was, but they said that by Ahsoka able to connect with her telepathically for the first time, that was what's going to awaken her powers. The same way it kind of happened with Rey when she was awoken. They said a lot of Jedis have to be awoken that way. And I'm curious to see if that's how she's going to start curating her force powers finally.
And maybe Wade can correct me, but isn't her? I don't know if it's her mom or her dad that is, or she has some sort of lineage to the very first Mandalorian that wielded the dark saber. I could be wrong,
Nope,
but
you're 100% right.
she has that lineage, right?
And I think her sister was like in a relationship with Obi-Wan Kenobi at one time.
I'm not sure about that.
I think that's what it was. I don't know. There's a lot of that shit that I need to fucking catch up on before I talk about, but it's fun. It's more fun to do this. He's gonna send me a text message later like, "You stupid fuck. Quit talking about Star Wars if you know what you're talking about."
That's crazy. Nah, man. I gotta watch Ahsoka. No bullshit.
Is he in the chat?
Wade, yeah, he's Jizzy Gillespie.
Okay.
Yeah.
He always wants to see.
Is that true, Wade? Sabine has that lineage, right? To the first Mandalorian.
And now he's the slowest typer. He was the fastest typer for an hour and a half, and now he's slow boating us. I just want to know where Balin came from. You know what I mean? If Ahsoka was as powerful, I mean, she defeated Darth Maul. She's pretty apt with the lightsaber, I thought. And this Balin dude who came out of nowhere that no one knows who was trained, that somehow survived Order 666, is just whooping her ass whenever he wants to.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we're not really going to get much backstory due to his passing. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with him, but I mean, they could do some CGI type stuff, but I don't know.
All right, yeah, my bad. Bo-Katan's
okay, yeah,
sister was Obi's. Sorry, I knew.
You had the right idea, though.
I knew that there was some. I knew there was a sister fucking Obi-Wan at one point in time. Before then they tried to turn Obi-Wan bisexual and all kinds of weird shit last year. So, true story. There was literally somebody wrote like a novel, and there was some vague language, and then some people in the Star Wars community were trying to claim Obi-Wan was bisexual. Which I'm surprised Disney hasn't fucking hopped on that horse and ran that some bitch like it was Seabiscuit, but. The Young Jedi just shows him fucking different dudes on Disney Plus.
Well, that's our time, people. He is really just went off on Disney Plus. I appreciate Disney Plus. I don't mind paying the money. Disney Plus, I know you listening. We appreciate
Fuck Disney Plus. When Disney Plus first came out, it was $7.99 a month. Now it's fucking like $18.99 a month. Fuck Disney Plus.
Yeah, they hit me with those charges.
bastards.
Like the email. We're gonna increase the service to $18.99.
And I said, and I told Disney Plus, you can increase your kiss to my ass. That's what you can do.
And to be honest with you, I thought Loki the first season looks very good. This looks like this has a potential to be a can of shit.
Hey, look,
I want to see Loki as Loki. I don't want to see him as him pretending to be an American for fucking 5 episodes and the old, like he's in Back to the Future. I don't. I want to see him doing mischief. I don't want him, this Tom fucking
man,
Tom.
look,
he wants to show everyone how fucking big of an actor he is. Motherfucker, be Loki. Put on a cool helmet. Do some shit. I don't want to see you in fucking as Inspector Clement and shit like that.
This new Loki look like he gonna be soft as baby shit. I'm not
Oh, he's
even
got his little
watching it
hair.
because he's nah.
I don't like Kang. I don't like this direction of Loki. Not very excited. I'm not excited about the Marvels. I don't think anybody else is. We got you all got 5 more minutes?
No, what's
Yeah,
up?
the
What you
reboot,
got?
right?
Yeah, we wanted to discuss this earlier, but there has been multiple rumors over the last 10, 11 days about Kevin Feige saying that they're going to basically reboot the Marvel Universe
I
after
heard
the
that.
Secret Wars.
Yep.
Like completely. Like hire new actors for legacy characters, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera.
Yep.
And I thought about it.
I'm excited about it.
I think that that's the only way to potentially
Save it.
not save it, because they already Endgame, the 10-year saga that brought through Endgame was classic. I mean, you couldn't have done that any better. Now this phase has been shit. I don't think. I mean, some people might argue that against that, but majority of the people that we talked to and have discussed movies and this leg with has been pretty piss poor. So because obviously they killed off Robert Downey Jr., who was their cash cow, and that's just the truth. That was the guy that kind of drove everything. With Tom Holland kind of getting longer in the tooth, them going the Miles direction, there has to be a change of sorts. How are you going to explain where the mutants were during the Endgame saga? It's going to be interesting. And a lot of people said that a lot of the changes are going to happen in Deadpool 3 potentially that set up this reboot for Secret Wars.
Heard that.
So that's what I was just going to think. I mean, do you think that this is a wise choice by Disney and Feige to basically, say it's time to? I mean, they do it in comic books all the time. I mean, how many Batman #1s, Moon Knight #1s? I mean, when it's time to redo something else, it's very comic booky to just basically reboot it. Is that what he's going to do? Or are they going to hold on to this kind of? I mean, no one's excited about She-Hulk. Not that many people excited about Miss Marvel. No offense. Loki, we just talked about. The Marvels. I mean, the Kang stuff is they haven't been able to even hire actors for the Sue Storm and Reed Richards, from what I understand. I mean, it's just.
Is the next phase going to be completely about the mutants? Because I don't know if that's what they're going to do, but I would think their get out of jail free card in the reboot, I guess, topic is to make the next phase around the mutants, right? And they're not going to call them X-Men; they're calling them mutants, right?
I haven't got that. Like I said, I've been so disappointed the last 4 to 5 years that I have distanced myself from a lot of that Marvel news where you hear spoilers every day about who's playing what and what different acting, this and that. And I'm excited about the mutants potentially, but I mean I still think it's another 4 to 5 years away. I'm excited about Blade, the I'm gonna
Mahershala Ali.
Thank you for fucking coming through clutch with that one, because I was about to butcher that up. But he's such an amazing actor, and I think he's going to be a perfect Blade to carry the torch from Wesley Snipes. I would have been mad if they'd have brought Wesley back, to be honest with you, but Mahashari
Moore.
Whatever. But I think he has, but what are they going to do with that storyline?
Yeah,
like where does that fit into anything?
Yeah, the smart move is to bring Wesley in as a Whistler, like the old people,
like Christopher Christopherson was in the original.
Yeah, the old people, like our generation, will appreciate it, even though he's not Blade, but our people will appreciate it, and then the new people will recognize the new guy's Blade. That's what I think. And or you make you do like Blade, and that's his son. No, Blade has a daughter, so that's not gonna work. So it's like, I mean, you figure out a way to bring Wesley in just for the sake of having Wesley there, and and that's it.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about a Black Panther 3. I don't know if people are excited about Shuri. as they were after the first one. Marcus, you can
Nope.
probably speak on this better than I am. Okay.
Nope. We're good.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do with the what do they call the Namor's people?
At
No, it's like
Atlanteans.
aliens.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting to see what they do with that.
yeah, like
You
what do
know,
they
I
do
don't-
with Namor? Right, he hasn't been mentioned at all since Black Panther 3. I thought he was okay. He wasn't bad.
You know, I've heard talk about the Eternals too, which just blows my fucking mind because that might have been the biggest piece of shit that they've produced. Which they've done a couple pretty crappy ones recently. Was you pointing, Vinny?
Yeah, being an ass. Talking about AT aliens. You're gonna call them the Aquaman people on a Marvel movie. The AT aliens. So they're from Atlanta. They're not Atlantis. They're from Atlanta.
I think
Okay. Yeah.
One of the greatest albums of all
Oh,
time, though.
Atlanteans. I think they're actually called Atlanteans.
Yeah, Atlanteans.
I think it's the best produced album from
Aliens.
beginning to end ever made.
Yeah, facts.
Honestly, that Organized Noise, the production team on that,
Yeah, I think it was.
it's so amazing from beginning to end. There's not a bad song. They use shit instruments and music in that album that no one has ever done since or before. It's so
I still like
good.
Southern Playalistic. I mean, they're both great albums, but I kind of lean more to that one.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, you got anything else you want to add to the discussion for the week?
Nah, man. I will say this has been a great episode. I'm not gonna lie. I've had a lot of fun today. We've had a lot of jokes and really had some good informative talk today. So
Yeah, for kind of freestyling without Ferd and everything, everyone else, I thought it
without
was
Ferd
pretty
and
good.
78, yeah, it's been pretty
Yep.
good. So I'm excited to
78.
see what we're gonna talk about next week. I know 78 is gonna. I think 78 has the flu or hemorrhoids flare up. I don't know. He had something. I don't know. He had some sort of hemorrhoid.
I don't trust anybody with the flu from that part of the world anymore. That's fucking.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful. There's some new strains of some shit coming out.
Yeah. Some people from that part of the world got that new strain of COVID. I love it.
You know, I ain't gonna say nothing. It'll get us demonetized all the money we're fucking making up YouTube. Go fuck
Well,
us.
listen, it's been good. You know, we appreciate these few dollars that we're getting from YouTube.
We
Y'all
ain't got
listen.
$1 for nobody.
Y'all be safe. God bless y'all. Good evening. We'll see y'all next week.
He saw 8 down.